Hello students, welcome back to your online video classes. Today we will continue our topic light. So, in the previous class we have discussed the Cartesian sign convention, the basic rules regarding the image formation. Then we studied some basic principles in which parallel light strikes the reflecting surface and then intersects at a point known as focus. Like that, when a light passes through the focus, then it reflects parallel to it. These were the several rules which we have studied. Then we discussed some basic rules and image formation in concave and convex mirror. After that, we discussed the mirror formula, that is 1 by u plus 1 by v is equal to 1 by f. We have derived that equation with the help of similarity in triangles. And now, today we will discuss magnification. Magnification is how much image is magnified with respect to the object. The formula of magnification is height of image divided by height of object. That is the comparison of size between image and object. If m is greater than 1, that means the image is larger than object in terms of size. But if magnification is less than 1, then image is smaller than the object. One more formula which is used in ray optics is m is equal to minus v by u. Now, what this minus denotes? This denotes the real and inverted form of image. Let's suppose the object is at above the principal axis, that is height of object is positive, and if image is real and inverted, then it will lie below the principal axis, that means it is negative. So, if the final answer of magnification comes negative, that means image is real and inverted, and if magnification comes positive, then the image will be virtual and erect. That means just suppose the object is present above the principal axis, then image will be also formed above the principal axis, that is height of object as well as height of image are positive. So, this was all about magnification. One more thing is that if the distance of image, that is v, if v is greater than u, then magnification will be greater than 1 and the image will be magnified. So, this distance of image from mirror is known as v. Now, we will take some examples, the numerical forms from your book. First of all, page number 114, example 3. A shaving mirror is at 20 centimeter from the face of a person. So, in this question, shaving mirror is given, and I have told you in the previous class that shaving mirror are the concave mirror, so that the image of our face becomes large and you can see properly doing your work. If the focal length of a shaving mirror is 80 centimeter, then find the distance of image from the mirror, that is you have to find v, and magnification of mirror, that means you have to find the comparison of size between image and object. So, first of all, shaving mirror is a concave mirror, and in a concave mirror I have told you in the previous class that focal length is the minus 80 centimeter. In a concave length, radius of curvature, the distance of object from mirror and focal length, these three are always negative. So, as shaving mirror is a concave mirror, we will take focal length negative minus 80 centimeter and object distance is minus 20 centimeter. So, we have to find v and magnification. So, first of all we will find v. The mirror formula is 1 by u plus 1 by v is equal to 1 by f. We take v as x and u as minus 20 and f as minus 80, and by solving this equation we get v is equals to 80 by 3 centimeter. By the positive sign, you can infer that the image will be formed towards the right hand side, and in the concave mirror, the image which is formed towards right hand side are always virtual and erect and enlarged. This can be proved by the help of magnification. So, in magnification, the formula is minus v by u. V is positive, this was the this was the negative sign of formula, and when V is positive then it is 80 by 3 and U is negative, so minus 20, and by solving it we that comes 1.33. So it is greater than 1, so the image is magnified, that is larger than the object, and the magnification is positive, that means image is virtual and erect. Now next example, example 4. Focal length of a convex mirror is 30 centimeter. If the virtual image, the word virtual itself tells that the image is towards the right side of the mirror, so V will be positive. It is 20 centimeter distance from the mirror, and then we have to find the distance of object from mirror. So we have to find the U in this question. So first of all, in convex mirror, focal length is plus 30 centimeter. V is virtual image, that is 20 centimeter, and we have to find U. 1 by V plus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. Then V is virtual, so it will be positive, and by solving this we get the answer U is minus 60 centimeter. This minus tells that the object will be real, and object is always real and comes to the left side of mirror and will be negative. So the next example is 5 in the page, on the page number 115. From the side mirror of a motorcycle, a car is a distance of 4 meter. So the distance of object is 4 meter, and you know we will take object always negative, so minus 4 meter. Side mirror of a vehicle. I have told you in the previous class while discussing the uses of convex mirror. In that time I have told you that side mirror of vehicles are convex mirror, so their focal length will be positive, and this was given in the question. Focal length is 1 meter, and we have to give the details of the image. Details of the image means the distance of image from the mirror and the size of image with respect to the object. So we can give the details of image with the help of the V and M. So by using mirror formula we get the V, that is 4 by 5 meter, that is 0.8 meter, and this is positive, that means we get a virtual erect image. Now by magnification, putting the values in the formula minus V by U, V is positive and U is negative, so both these negatives will cancel each other and the final magnification will come positive 1 by 5. So by 1 by 5, that is 0.2, we get the answer lesser than 1. So this indicates that image is smaller than object and virtual and erect, as magnification is positive and image is formed towards the right side of the mirror. So this was the numerical part of mirror formula. 1 by U plus 1 by V is equal to 1 by F. Now we will discuss refraction. You might have seen that when we dip a coin in the vessel containing water or some other kind of liquid, then the coin appears a slightly higher level than the actual depth. This apparent depth and the looking of coin at a higher level is due to a phenomenon known as refraction. It is not reflecting back or changing the direction of light in the same medium, but it is transmitting the ray towards the another medium. But when the light changes its medium, it sometimes moves towards the normal or away from the normal, and due to that kind of bending of light, we have several phenomena that we have observed. You can partly submerge a pencil or a scale in a vessel containing water or any other kind of liquid. You might have observed that the pencil or the scale is, it will appear like that they are bended. So that kind of bending type of appearance are also due to the phenomenon of refraction. There are several natural phenomena also present on our surroundings which are due to the refraction, which we will discuss later. So first of all, look at the figure 9.19 in your book, page number 117. In that we have studied, there is a one glass slab on which incident light PQ strikes, and there is a normal which is NON. So I will be there, and at that time laws of reflection will not be followed. Their laws of refraction will be followed, and rays will get into the glass slab. As you know, glass slab is denser than the surrounding air. So while moving from rarer to the denser medium, rays moves towards the normal. You can see in the diagram that the rays gets deflected and it moves towards the normal. Then when it strikes the another part of the slab, then it moves from denser medium to the rarer medium air. At that time it will move away from the normal. And all these deviations, you might have observed that when we extrapolate the incident ray, then the final refracted ray and the initial incident ray are parallel to each other. You can infer from that the bending towards normal and the bending away from normal was equal in amount. This was the bending of light due to refraction. Then the second thing is given in your book is Snell's law. Snell's law, the Snell's word is the name of scientist which gave an equation which explains the refraction, that is sin I upon sin R is constant. The scientist Snell's gives a law which is the law of refraction. It is the second law of refraction, that is sin I by sin R is constant, and this constant is the property of medium, that is refractive index of medium. This refractive index tells us that the object is denser or rarer and tells us the velocity of light in different medium. So first of all, we will discuss what absolute refractive index is. It is when light travels from vacuum to a medium, then refractive index of that medium with respect to vacuum is absolute refractive index. One more term is there, that is relative refractive index, and this relative refractive index is the refractive index of one medium with respect to another medium, and the refractive index is reciprocal of the velocity. You can say when you will write the refractive index of 2 with respect to 1, then in the numerator you will take the speed of light in medium 1, and in denominator you will take the speed of light in medium 2. So mu is inversely proportional to the velocity of light in that medium. This was the refraction. Now we will study some common phenomenon occurring in our surrounding due to the refraction. First of all, the first point is visibility of the sun before sunrise and after sunset. That is, the sun appears 2 minutes earlier than its actual sunrise, and it appears 2 minutes later after its actual setting down. This appearance of sun is due to the refraction. You might have heard that due to the temperature, the upper layer of the atmosphere is less denser than the air surrounding the lithosphere, that is the earth. So when rays comes from the sun, then it moves from rarer to the denser medium, and due to this it moves towards the normal, and so refraction phenomenon takes place. There is bending of light. So due to that bending of light, sun appears slightly higher level than its actual position, and due to that apparent position of the sun, we can see sunrise 2 minutes earlier and sunset 2 minutes later. This was a natural phenomenon which you might have been observed. Second terminology is total internal reflection, that is, there is no refraction and the whole light is totally internally reflected. This total internal reflection is also seen in a highly precise cut diamonds. In the diamonds, why they shine? They shines because the light which enters into the diamond gets internally reflected, and due to that they shines. So in total internal reflection, first of all, light gets incident on a medium. In that condition, total internal reflection happens when the condition is light going from denser medium to rarer medium, that is light will bend away from the normal. So, in the first condition, light comes at the angle I and it gets refracted to another medium and moving away from the normal as it moves to the rarer medium. In the second case, light moves at a particular angle in which the refracted angle is at 90 degree from the normal. So, this angle in which the refracted ray grazes the surface is known as critical angle. In the third case, which we will study, that is TIR, a total internal reflection, whole light gets reflected, there is no refraction. In this type, the angle I is greater than the critical angle theta c. So, when the incident angle is further more increased, then the refraction will not take place and the light will move more away from the normal and comes back to the same medium, which is known as total internal reflection. This kind of total internal reflection helps in transmitting the signals with the help of light, in which optical fibers are used. So, TIR are used in optical fibers and they are also responsible for shining of diamond. The next discussion is dispersion of light by prism. Prism is a triangular structure in which any one of sides are not parallel to each other. So, first of all, I have told you in the previous class that light is composed of 7 colors. Vib Gyor I have told you. So, white light composed of every color when splits up, this splitting is known as dispersion. So, dispersion is splitting of white light into several colors which are of which the light is composed of. So, first of all, Vib, that is violet, indigo, blue, yellow, orange and green, yellow, orange and finally red. In this kind of splitting, the bending of violet light is most. So, it will appear towards the downward side. This was also the sequence of the rainbow you have studied. This is the sequence of primary rainbow. So, this kind of dispersion in which violet light bends most, so it will comes to the lower side and the red color which have the maximum wavelength will bend most, because when refraction takes place, wavelength changes, speed of light in medium changes, but one thing which remains constant is frequency of light. Frequency depends only on the source. It cannot change with the change of medium. So, if frequency multiplied by lambda is equal to speed of light, lambda is maximum for red. So, speed of light of red will be maximum in any type of medium, and due to the maximum speed, it will bend the least. This was all about the discussion of dispersion of light and splitting of light into its constituent colors. Now, one example 6 is given on page number 118. Refractive index of water and glass are 1.33 and 1.5 respectively. Find the refractive index of glass with respect to water. The individual refractive indices of water and glass are given in the question. Now, you have to find the refractive index of glass with respect to water. That is, you have to find this term, refractive index of glass divided by refractive index of water. So, first of all, I have told you that refractive index is reciprocal of the speed of light in that medium. So, refractive index of water with respect to vacuum is speed of light in vacuum divided by speed of light in water, that is 1.33 given in the question. Second one is refractive index of glass with respect to vacuum, that is speed of light in vacuum divided by speed of light in glass, that is 1.5. So, by dividing these two terms, by dividing equation 1 and 2, we get these terms in which speed of light in vacuum gets cancelled by each other, and the final terms comes 1.12. So, refractive index of glass with respect to water is 1.12. This was all about today's discussion. We have studied the numericals of mirror formula, then we take the bending of light and appearance of any type of submerged object higher level than the actual depth. Then we studied the laws of refraction given by the scientist Snell and this early sunrise and the late sunset. At last we studied the total internal reflection and dispersion of light, that is splitting of white light into several colors. So, now in the next class we will study the lenses and the refraction in lenses. Thank you.